Okay, so in these value mixture problems, they tend to give you information about two different things and you're putting them together. So they kind of give you information about one item, information about a second item, and then information about the total. So for instance, in this problem here, they say at the City Museum, child tickets are $5.40, adult tickets are $9.90, and then they tell you on Friday this many were sold for a total of this amount. And they want to know how many child tickets were sold that day. So I kind of like to try to look at things to see what they're giving us. So they're telling us that, first off, this first piece of information, that the 114 tickets were sold, that would be the number of child tickets and the number of adult tickets, right? So if we call the child tickets, say, C, and the adult tickets, A. So the 114 is telling us, oh, the number of child tickets plus the number of adult tickets would end up being 114. The second part tells us that the total amount that was sold was 845. So if you think about the amount that's sold, it's the number of child tickets times the 540 and the number of adult tickets times the 990. So $5.40 times the number of children tickets sold plus $9.90 times the number of adult tickets sold has to end up being the $845.10. And now I just have a system of equations. So I'm going to take this first equation here. I'll solve it for C. So we'll let C is going to be 114 minus A. And then I'm going to plug that into the second equation here. So 540 times 114 minus A plus 990A equals 845.10. I'm going to distribute the 540. So 540 times 114, or $5.40 times 114 would be $615.60 minus 540A plus 990A equals 845.10. The 540, the minus 540 plus the 990, so we'll put together, so $615.60 plus $4.50 A, because minus 540 plus 990 is plus 450, equals 845.10. So I'm going to subtract $615.60 from both sides. So you're going to end up with 450A equals, so 845.10 minus 615.60 is $229.50. And so we're going to divide both of those by 450. So divide by 450. A turns out to be 51. And it's good it turned out to be a whole number, right? Because if you're talking about selling tickets, right, you're talking about a whole number of adults. There's no, like, half of an adult that goes to a show. The important question is to look at what's being asked. So what's being asked is how many child tickets were sold that day. So to get that answer, we're going to have to take our A equals 51 and plug it back into this equation here. So C is 114 minus A, so it's going to be 114 minus the 51. And so if I do 114 minus 51, I get 63. So 63 child tickets were sold. So I basically use the information in the problem to make a system of equations, and then I use the system of equations to solve my problem. So let's try another one here. And I should say the way that Alex does these, Alex may not make a system of equations, but since we've already done systems of equations, you feel free, and I think that's the easier way to do these. So this is kind of similar. It says that At a movie theater, right, child admission is $5.80 and adult admission is $9.20. On Tuesdays, twice as many adult tickets as child tickets were sold for a total of $750.20. Okay, so again, basically what we're saying is that the adult tickets plus the child tickets, so the adult tickets times the cost plus the child tickets times the cost is equal to the total. Right? So in this case, they give you a clue here. This part here that says twice as many adult tickets as child tickets. So if the child tickets we call X, the adult tickets, since the adult tickets is twice as many, that would be 2X. So the number of adult tickets is 2X and the number of child tickets is X. Then the cost, right? So the child tickets cost $5.80, so times $5.80. The adult tickets cost $9.20, so times $9.20. And the grand total, right, is this $750.20. So if I make an equation out of this, I have 2x times 920 plus, I'm going to write, instead of writing x times 580, I'm going to write it as 580 times x. It's the exact same thing, equals 750.20. And then over here where I have 2 times x times 920, the order that you multiply these in doesn't matter. So I'm going to multiply the 2 times the 920. So 2 times 920 is 1840. So this is telling me that 1840x plus 580x equals 750.20. And if I add 1840 plus 580, we have 2420x equals 750.20. If I divide both sides by 2420, then x ends up being equal to, so 750.20 divided by 2420 is 31. And notice that x was the number of child tickets, and it asked how many child tickets were sold. So in this one, we didn't get that system of equations. We actually just got the answer we were looking for right away. So the child tickets sold is 31. So I have 2 more examples here, so you kind of get a feel for different ways of setting these up. So let's look at the next one. So the next one says, web music store offers 2 versions of a popular song. The size of the standard version is 2.7 megabytes, and the size of the high quality version is 4.9 megabytes. Yesterday, there were 960 downloads of the song for a total download size of 4,176. Okay, so we have the standard version and the high quality version. So let's call the standard version here X and that high quality version Y. Okay, so if you look at these numbers here, right, it says there was a grand total of 960 downloads. So this is more like that first problem I did, right? So the number of standard downloads plus the number of the high quality downloads has to be a grand total of 960. Then the other part says that there was, in terms of the size of the downloads, so the size of the downloads is 4,176, and they gave me the size for the X and the size for the Y. So 2.7X plus 4.9Y equals 4,176. So this one, again, I have a system of equations. If I solve this first one for X, X is going to be 960 minus Y. And if I plug that into the second equation, 2.7 times 960 minus Y plus 4.9Y equals 4,176. If I distribute that 2.7, So 2.7 times 960 is 2,592 minus 2.7y plus 4.9y equals 4,176. So 4.9 y minus that 2.7y is going to give us 2.2. So 2,592 plus 2.2y equals 4,176. So if I subtract 2,592 from both sides, we end up with 2.2y equals, so 4,176 minus 2,592 gives us 1,584. If we divide both sides by 2.2, y is going to be 720. So there's 720 downloads of the high quality version, but we have to look at what they're asking. They are asking how many of downloads of the standard version were there. So the standard version is the X. So remember from here, right? X is equal to 960 minus Y. So it's going to be 960 minus 720. And so 960 minus 720 is 240. So there were 240 standard versions downloaded. So these problems, again, sometimes you end up with a system of equations. It's easier to use a system of equations, and sometimes it's not, like in the last problem. So let's try one more and see how this one works. So this one says, LaShonda's coffee shop makes a blend that is a mixture of two types of coffee. Type A costs LaShonda $575 per pound, and type B costs LaShonda $435 per pound. And then it says this month's blend uses 4 times as many pounds of type B as A, and they give you the total cost. So they only give you one total. So again, this is going to be more like the second problem, right? So I can think of it as the cost of type A times the number of pounds of A plus the cost of type B times the number of pounds of type B is going to be equal to the total price. So if we go through here, right, the total price here is that $532.45. So $532.45. The type A cost is $575. So $575. The type B cost $435. Okay, so now the only other thing that there is here to look at and to kind of figure out a little bit is this part here. So it's kind of weird reading thing. That says this month's blend used 4 times as many pounds of B as type A. And if you notice, it asks how many pounds of type A were used. So I don't know the number of pounds of type A. So let's call that X. And then it says that 4 times as much pounds of type B were used, type B coffee as type A. So this number of pounds for B would be 4x because it's 4 times as many as there were for A. So really I have the equation 575x plus 435 times 4x equals 532.45. So 4.35 times 4, so 435 times 4 gives us 1740. So 5.75x plus 1740, 17 40x equals 532.45. So if I add the 1740 plus 5.75, we get 2315x equals 532.45. If I divide both sides by 23.15, x ends up being, so 532.45 divided by 23.15 is 23. And x is what we were looking for, right? X is the pounds of A here. And that's what the problem asked me for. So we need 23 pounds of type A.